President Recep Tayyip Erdogan saying Jamal Khashoggi was the victim of a savage murder. His words are spoken by a translator.
It is clear that there was a premeditated a road map.
He questioned why the journalist's body is still missing. Saudi Arabia says Khashoggi died in a brawl.
Fox's Simon Owen. Jamal Khashoggi disappeared 3 weeks ago today. Someone sent an explosive device to the home of the liberal philanthropist George Soros.
The billionaire wasn't at his suburban New York home late Monday afternoon when an employee there discovered the suspicious item, alerted police, then took it to a nearby wooded area where a bomb squad later destroyed it.
Fox's Lillian Wu. The FBI has taken over that investigation. This is Fox News.
This is Tyrus.
I'm Tommy Lahren.
And Britt McHenry. And we're excited to be a part of Fox Nation.
Because now more than ever, we need powerful voices.
Different from anything you've heard before.
Fox Nation.
Opinion done right.
Go to foxnation.com and sign up
now.
The Fox News Rundown dives deep into the major and controversial stories of the day. Hosted by the anchors of Fox News Radio. Subscribe now to hear a perspective of news you won't find anywhere else. Listen now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com. Brett Baer.
When someone watches the news, they want someone they can trust. Our job is to cut through the talking points.
Martha McCallum.
We're going to ask the tough questions because there's a lot of conventional wisdom out there that needs to be challenged.
Shannon Bream.
What I'm doing is making sure that whatever is developed through the day, people are fully informed from coast to coast.
We're 24/7 news, but we're really down to the minute.
We're going to be fearless. We're going to be fair.
Whether it's 4 a.m. or midnight, we're there.
Fox News Channel. Real news, real honest opinion.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Got ticks? Well, we hope not. I'm Dr. Charles Hall.
And I'm Dr. Stefania Wilcox.
We are the Associate Veterinarians at Wolf Animal Hospital. As the cool air rolls in, we are noticing the ticks are too. Let us help guard your pets against tick-borne disease this year. Come see us at our main branch, Wolf Animal Hospital, at 755 West Cherry Street.
And now we can serve you from our new mobile veterinary clinic in select locations throughout Appling, Brantley, Long, and Wayne counties. The mobile service will provide preventive medicine and outpatient procedures on site. For more information, contact Wolf Animal Hospital at 912-427-3212.
I'm Dr. Charles Hall.
And I'm Dr. Stefania Wilcox.
And we are ready to serve you and your four-legged family members at our main hospital or one of our satellite locations. Contact us at Wolf Animal Hospital at 912-427-3212. 912-427-3212.
It's time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show on WIFO-FM, brought to you this morning by Wolf Animal Hospital, Murphy Builder Supply, and Mike Birchford in Blackshear. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. Children's First Committee in studios with us. We've got Loretta Boykin and Chairman of the Board of Education, Nick Ellis, in to talk about the East Bloss vote on the ballot. Who wants to go first?
Well, good morning, Bob. Thank you for having us on this morning. Just really want to talk about some of the East Bloss information, and really want to thank all the support that has been given towards the East Bloss at this moment. We've heard that there's a large turnout for voters, and we hope that those voters are supporting the East Bloss. But if you think about a East Bloss is going to generate a large amount of money in a short period of time. And when you put a figure on that number, you're generating about $17 million. To generate that $17 million without an East Bloss would take us about 12 years. And so that's why we're going to the voters and asking for this continuing of the penny to help generate this, to actually get some projects that are well needed in this district done. And when I think about a priority list, we start our priority list by talking about our only school that's left, our James E. Bacon School. Is our only school that's left that needs some upgrades, that needs some work. And it's not going to be a new school. It's going to be a renovation project that we are working on now. And of course, our sewage, our air conditioning inside of our gymnasium, some of the buildings and classrooms some of those things need to be upgraded, and that's what the bulk of this new eSPLOST will go towards. I do want to mention that we have, as a school board, we have paid off the majority of our projects from the Odom and Martha Ross Smith, but there's still a few things that need to be done to complete those. And so about $4.3 million of this new eSPLOST is going to go towards the completion and the continuation of that project to get all those things paid off and bonds paid back, as has been outlined that we sell bonds to start those construction projects, and so those bonds have to be paid off in full by the end of 2019, and so that's what a part of this is going to go towards as well.
Mr. Red?
Well, he's right about the James E. Bacon School. Also, one of the things that they've talked about doing is the way the pickup line is in the afternoon, or the drop-off line in the morning, because they've got the highway blocked. They're going to fix it differently so this will not happen. This is a good thing that needs to be done. Also, one of our things that we need to do is our school buses are in sad shape. We've had them for a long time. They're like 17 years old, and we have, I think, about 71 school buses, I believe. And we have gotten 2 new buses last year, and I think 3 this year. And according to the state, they recommend a shelf life of 14 years, and so our buses are way past that, and they're having it takes a lot to keep these buses up. You're spending a lot of money, so we do need some new school buses for our students to get back and forth to school.
When you think about the cost of a bus, and the board decided that with the new buses that we were going to go with the air-conditioned buses because of the climate change, because of the teams that are traveling during those first months of school, it's about $95,000 per bus. When you have a non-air conditioned bus, you're going to be spending about $87,000. And back in the early 2000s, the state used to give in money to go towards those buses, and that's through the cuts and things. That was one of the things that was cut, and so the local boards are having to pick up on that cost mainly for that.
Yeah, and they just had the Ballast and Barbecue. I think, like I said, the 2 things that really stood out, you just mentioned one, the 1 cent penny tax will raise $17 million in 5 years. If the eSPLOST does not pass, then the school board won't have any choice but to raise the millage rate 2 mills. But that 2 mil increase would take 12 and a half years to raise the $17 million that the 1 cent penny tax.
Yes,
the other thing that they pointed out, I can't remember the total, but there's 170 some school districts in the state of Georgia.
Yes, 181 districts.
And only one of the 181 does not have the eSPLOST currently. So every school system in the state of Georgia has this. It's something that generates millions of dollars. I said much needed projects. Again, we got a couple of the sample ballot. Again, if you go and haven't voted yet, when you go into the voting booth, it'll read as follows. Shall 1% sales tax for educational purposes be imposed in the Wayne County School District for a period of time not to exceed 5 years, and for the raising of not more than $25 million for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, and equipping the following capital outlay projects. 1, modernization of James E. Bacon Elementary School, school buses and transportation equipment, computers including instructional and administrative technology, equipment, textbooks and textbook-related materials, athletic facilities to include a high school track and related equipment, resurfacing of parking lots, improving and equipping existing educational buildings, properties, and facilities of the school district. If approved by the voters, such vote will also constitute the issuance of general obligation debt of the Wayne County School District in the principal amount of $16 million for the above capital outlay purposes and for the payment of capitalized interest. Again, it's a yes or no vote on the ballot. So again, normally these SPLOST votes and eSPLOST votes are put on the ballot by itself. The high turnout it kind of concerns me. Hopefully they are voting for the eSPLOST, but normally you put this by itself. That was the big argument when they had the big debate. You were at that meeting in the airport.
Yes,
who's going first, the county or the school boards? The county wanted to go first, so they put theirs on the ballot with no statewide races, no local races, and it passed. No problem, because most people go vote for something. With this big turnout, it's going to be interesting to see how the eSPLOST vote turns out. Hopefully the majority of people get the right information. School Superintendent Jay Brinson has said from day one, he feels as long as they get the correct information out there, it'll pass. But that's the problem with social media. There's you still go around telling people, oh, it's a new tax. No, it's not a new tax. It's been on the books for eons, and it's just a continuation, because it's going to run out at the end of this year, so it'll pick back up. So,
Bob, if you'll just let me, back, over 2 years ago when we were at that meeting at the airport and we were talking about the SPLOST, and the school board, myself, Dr. Brinson, kind of took the back seat, and we were a part of a gentleman's agreement to allow the county to go ahead and put theirs on the ballot for last year, and then we would come back this year and ask the voters to support the educational SPLOST. And so that was a gentleman's agreement that we agreed to, trying to be responsible citizens and responsible stewards of the Board of Education. And I will say on that, Bob, that the school board has done a lot of work and not had to, go back in and raise the millage. Prior to me coming on, and this board coming on, the millage rate was about 20 mills, and prior to that, they were able to decrease it. When we came in, we were able to decrease it. We were able to, add back some things. Music's back in all 5 elementary schools. We were able to add back in some other positions that the district needed. And to end that this fiscal year in June 30th with $5.2 million in our savings account, I think that we've been responsible stewards of the taxpayers' money. And so I just want to stress that any information that people need and want to know about the financial records, they're available online. They can stop by and see Ms. Tony Williams, our Chief Financial Officer, Superintendent, or they can come to the board meeting tonight. We're going to be talking about eSPLOST at the board meeting. It's on the agenda. We want input from the citizens. We want input from anybody who wants to know or needs information.
Right, but I'm also just, relating the facts. Also that meeting they said they weren't going to do anything to hurt the eSPLOST at all. Then in the meantime, we got a $5 million increase by the county, and that's what he got writing candidates. So all these people out there voting in Wayne County. So I'm just fearful that the eSPLOST could be hurt with this big turnout. I'm hoping that most people get the right information, because the remodernization of James E. Bacon Elementary School is, a big project. The track is something that's been needed for years, and hopefully, that's included as well. It takes that 1 cent penny and those millions of dollars to get these projects completed.
Yes, sir.
I've spoken to a lot of groups. I've been asked to speak to them, and that's the one thing that I have really tried to emphasize to them, that we are not, the school eSPLOST is not increasing 1 penny. We are wanting to continue what we are already paying. And that also the fact that when we go to other towns and shop, they have the school eSPLOST, and we're contributing to their school systems. And the thing about it is when people come to this town for events, and we have a lot of events going on here in this town, and whenever they come here, everything they buy, they're putting a penny into our eSPLOST, our school tax. And this is something that I have really tried to get across to everybody, because like you said, a lot of folks think that we're adding a penny, but we're not. We're just wanting to extend what is going to run out in the end of June.
It's interesting, the turnout is so huge here in Wayne County and statewide. The speculation of what is creating the big turnout. A lot of people think the governor.
Oh yeah,
I think that's a big issue. But there are these local contested county commissioner races. I think that has a lot to do with it. And these referendums, the city's got their alcohol referendums on there, and the eSPLOST referendums. And there's 5 statewide referendums as well. So I encourage people to go get a sample ballot, because the sample ballot has all this information on it. You can pick that up in the lobby of the courthouse and go home and read it, understand it, but make sure you get the correct information before you just go in there and vote one way or the other.
When I went over there and voted, I went and got a copy of that, and I took it back and I run copies of it, and I have handed out I don't know how many hundreds of them to people, and that's going to vote. And they have appreciated it, because they didn't realize how long it was and how much was on it. And they have done a lot of studying and reading, and so I think that was a good thing of what I did with getting people involved in it.
I just think it's good that people go by and get a sample ballot.
I didn't know it was that long until I went over there and started to vote, and I thought, oh my gosh.
But the school buses is another item that we talked about that with superintendent on hand. The state used to fund those school buses regularly for the state, but they've cut all that out. So of buses. How much is a bus nowadays?
$95,000.
Yeah, and they want air-conditioned buses. That's additional. How much money?
That's it's about $7,000-8,000 additional.
For the air conditioning, but in South Georgia, those air conditioned buses are desperately needed. So I think that was a good move by the board to go ahead and vote to get the air conditioned buses, but it is an additional cost as well. Everything costs money. It's, as we say all the time, it's about the money. You got some questions?
Yeah, we've got a comment here, and I don't know exactly how this ties in. It's asking about the tax exemption for citizens over 65. If it was repealed, do we know what kind of impact that would have on the budget?
Well, from what I can understand, that the 65 and older make up 60% of the tax bracket here in Jesup.
Wow.
So it would make a big, huge difference, and our millage rate probably with the school system would probably end up going down because we don't have any young folks moving back to this town. And
right.
that's hurting Jesup. It really is.
We're the only county in Georgia that has that exemption, correct?
I think there's one other county that has a 100% tax exemption for 65 and older.
Okay, and to repeal that, though, that would be on the state level. It's not something that we can do local here.
Yeah.
You have to get with your legislators to do that.
I fought that when it went on there. I really fought it real hard, but it didn't do any good. So.
All right, well, thanks for that question via text at 912-427-3711.
And again, he just joined the Children's First Committees in here talking about the East Bloss, which is on the ballot this November. Again, we're 2 weeks away from Election Day, but the turnout's been extremely high here in Wayne County. They're averaging over 350 a day, so good to see this turnout. Good to see the interest. So we're just hoping that people that are going to vote have the correct information when they see the East Bloss question on the ballot. Again, it's not a new tax. It'll generate approximately $17 million over a 5-year period. And the number one project, of course, is the renovation and remodernization of James E. Bacon. You're on the board, Dick. Tell people how that facility is going to look. It's going to be totally different.
Yes,
the current Board of Education building is going to be demolished, and they're going to have playground equipment. And just tell us how that's going to look if this East Bloss does pass.
Just went online, and we just posted, some of those things how the school. But if you look at the school and how it's seated, it's really going to be turned completely around so that the entrance of the school will be right in the bus loaded area, which is right across from the tech center and next to the gym. And so it'll be a new office area there. And it will continue, a hallway will continue down into the main building, which will the classrooms, and some of those are going to be restructured and redesigned. And what we're really kind of trying to figure out how we want to enclose some of these things. Safety and security is one of the things that we have been harping on, and we definitely want to cut off some of those sidewalks, make them more of a hallway tunnel so that we can provide more safe and secure facilities. The pickup zone is going to be moved again to that front bus loading area, and the area where the old Board of Education office is where we're planning to put the playgrounds and a field actually for the James E. Bacon students. And so that area there, all that building is going to be torn down, and it's going to be another play field and playground in that area.
And everybody out there familiar with the old Nest, again, that's still a gym that's being used by James E. Bacon, and it'll be air-conditioned.
And air-conditioned.
Which will be nice. It's still hard to imagine all those young kids in that gym in the heat when they go to school in August with no air conditioning. But they've been doing it for years, but I'm sure they would love to see some air conditioning in that building, and plus the recreation department still uses that for basketball games, so it'd be nice to have it air conditioned as well.
Well, another thing that I would like to talk about for just a second is the technology part of it. All of our schools, all of the young folks, the kids, everything they do is on computers. All the testing that they do, it has to be done on Chromebooks. And I volunteer at Jesup Elementary School, and we have the 2nd grade through the 5th grade. Every one of the classrooms have enough Chromebooks in there to handle the situation. And it's all of the schools are like that anymore. Everything is done on computers. So that's a big expense right there. And we've got some in our school that they're running out of the warranty is running out on them. And so we're going to have to get some more because they don't last but say about 5 years, 6 years, something like that, because they're, like I say, they are used every day. And that's something that really needs to be thought
We want
about.
to be able to provide enough so that teachers don't have to share carts. And a lot of, in a lot of the schools, teachers are having to share or check them out from the media center. And so we want to be able to provide enough so that students don't have to use them. I know one of the things that we talked about at the beginning of this year when we were talking about, no cell phones at the high school, and a lot of the people were bringing up the issues that, kids are able to get on their Google Docs and their Google assignments through their cell phones. And so since we've eliminated, the cell phone usage at the high school, we want to be able to provide those kids with an actual pad so that they can use it for class assignments.
Well, one thing I like about the idea at the high school over there is that we're putting a new entranceway into there, because with the other doors, I've always said that you could just walk in there and go to any part of that school that you want to. And I think this is a good safety issue that we're taking care of, because I know at some of the schools, you go in the front door and you can't go down the hall to any of the classes. You have to go into a room over here and tell them what you want to do, and they have to buzz you through, where at the high school they didn't. You could just walk in and do what you wanted to.
Well, it has on here a new track, and anybody's athletic-wise would love to see a new track, but the big question remains, where's the track's going to be? So I'll put you on the spot, Chairman. I've been to the meetings. I know athletic director, head football coach Ken Cribb wants it at JC Stadium. I know the track coach Mike Ward wants it at JC Stadium. I know I wanted it at JC Stadium, renovated it, but I know Sharon Daniels keeps on saying it's going to the high school. So what's the decision on where the track's going?
Well, right now, when we had to make the decision to pay back some of the things for a lawsuit that was filed on the county, and we were a part of that lawsuit, we had to stop all the projects. We were originally planning to put the track at the new high school. There has been some questions. Ray Davison, one of the board members, have asked to get some figures and costs of what it would take to put it at the stadium. Right now, I really don't know where I would like to see it at. I've heard from Coach Cribb, I've heard from Sharon Daniel, and I'm just kind of looking at what's the best option, what's the most cost efficient, if I could say that. Looking at costs of what it would take to do it at the stadium, and looking at the cost of what it would take to put it at the high school. I can tell you that some of the benefits for the stadium would be that we can really do a lot of good things at the stadium, make it look good. Actually, we have locker rooms and concession stands and bleachers that are already out there. Those are some of the things that we would have to add at the high school. But at the high school,
lights too,
right, and lights.
I mean, those are three things you'll have already at the stadium. You have the lights, you got the bleachers, you got concessions. So all that's already there. So that Has anybody seen the figures on what it's going to take to do it there compared to?
Not yet. He's supposed to have been working with Buckley and Associates to get some of those figures of what it would take to do it. But at the same time, Bob, you got to think about the kids that really need a track at the high school. Your physical education classes, all your athletic teams, when they're trying out, they're having to run around the high school. Use the roadway, the access road in the back, Joy Williamson, Durance Road. And Jacket Drive to, do their mile runs and things like that. And so, that's kind of how I think some of those things that Sharon wanted to see, why she wanted to see it at the high school, was so that, the general daily people would be able to use the track as well, not just the track team.
Well, she pushed for the research into the current track, and that's been a disaster. So, we suing that company that did that, or what's the story on that?
Well,
'cause I've walked out there, and you better walk
carefully. That was a disaster out there.
You're going to break a leg. That's just awful.
Yeah, it was a disaster. I think that company did not have the skills to do what they said they could do. And we talked about some of the things that was cut. We were supposed to be under a warranty, and they were supposed to be able to come back and fix and get some of those things changed in there, but they haven't came back and done it yet. I thought it was a good idea to really, give us a surface that we can at least get people out to walk on, beautify the stadium, and that's why I agreed to it. But I don't think this company had the skill set to do what this project really took to do it. And they put it up and tried to do it in between two hurricanes, and I think that was Irma and Matthew, when they were trying to out there put down, the material. It's not going to stick between two hurricanes.
Well, I went out there and walked on it. And stuff stuck to my shoes.
It's a mess. I just wondered, the last I heard was they were going to come back and try to, fix it. But I haven't seen them yet. So I don't know, how much did we pay for that?
It's about $80,000.
$80,000. So we just kind of threw that down Cherry Street. We would have been better just throwing out the window and helping people with $80,000 because that money was wasted. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, that's just sad.
But there's another thing too.
Hopefully, we won't waste it. I say we build a new track.
We wasted any more money. So when we make a decision, it's going to be the decision that's going to be well worth the penny.
Another thing too, we also have a swim team that has nowhere to practice around here. If I'm not mistaken, correct me. Don't they have to go to Hinesville to practice?
Yeah. Well,
and that's something that needs to be worked on.
But that thing's been discussed for eons. But that thing, with all the increase in the $5 million increase, that discussion's been thrown out the window. I haven't heard anything about a pool. So, the county's not talking about a pool. The city's talking about putting the old pool back at the Cracker Williams Recreation Center. Maybe that'll help a little bit. But as far as doing a new pool for the recreation department, that conversation with the $5 million county increase has been thrown out the window. I don't know where that discussion's just dead in the water right now.
There's lots of things that the East Splost can take care of.
But the pool's not included in East Splost.
Yeah.
The pool's, that's not part of East Splost. The track and the James E. Bacon are the two big projects, plus the buses and resurfacing. So,
Bob, if you would, I just want to mention this.
Don't want to muddy the water out there. People, any swimmers, don't get excited. East Splost not going for a pool.
No.
The pool's not in the discussion.
If I could just tell some of the things on the priority list, and these priority lists are available at the Wayne County Board of Education's office, and it'll be available at the board meeting. But just to complete the cost of the Martha Ross Smith, James E. Bacon modernization, buses, parking lots, practice fields, the track, and athletic facilities. Some of the roofs on the high school needs to be replaced. We want to get some new cameras. We also want to talk about our gym floor and some upgrades in the auditorium. The middle schools, just upgrading some of the things that have, when you think about the high school and the middle schools, they're getting up in their age. Middle schools are over their 20 years and high school's coming up on 20. So there are a lot of things that we need to, be upgrading our school food service equipment in our middle schools and high schools. And so those are some of the things that are on the priority list. But again, our main things are the James E. Bacon, buses, technology, our track, and our athletic facilities are our main things on there. And we've even got on here ag facilities, some things that we want to do with the ag department. Getting them a barn and getting some things like that. So there are a lot of things, but we can't do none of these things if the East Splost doesn't pass.
That's exactly true. And like I said, when Jay was in here, they asked him point blank, if the East Splost doesn't pass, what will he do? He says, well, we won't have any choice but to raise the millage to 20 mills. But then somebody said, well, that's a threat. It's not a threat. It's just reality. But the point that needs to be made again, even if they did that, if they went to the 2 mills, it would take 12 and a half years to raise the $17 million. This 1 cent penny will raise in 5 years. So, again, it's a no-brainer. Every school system has it across the state except one. As you mentioned, Loretta, when you go to Hinesville, you go to Glenn, you go to anywhere else, you're supporting their East Splost because they all have it, and vice versa. If you go to Walmart and just look at the out-of-town tags from Long County, Glenn County, Pierce County, they're all helping with our East Splost. And all that money's generated. I think they said the figure is like 33.3% of the money that's raised comes from out-of-town residents. So
there's a lot of out-of-town tags on cars. If you go out, then you just look at it, and so they're helping us.
And it's a no-brainer. I think I've said it from day one. I think it's a good thing for the school system. Hopefully, people get the information out. Like I said, it's just going to be interesting to see how the large turnout affects the East Splost, if it affects it all. Hopefully, the majority of people will vote for it. But like I said, referendums like this normally are put out there by itself, kind of like the county Splost. So the big turnout, history shows big turnouts don't help referendums such as this, but hopefully the Wayne Countyans will do differently and see the light and realize the importance of this 1 cent penny for education. And that's what the hope is on 2 weeks from tonight on Tuesday. So if you're going to vote, if you have any questions about these Splost, as Nick mentioned, you can call the board office, the superintendent, and them have all the information. You can go by the courthouse, pick up the sample ballot. It's written right there. I just read it a while ago. It has exactly what the money's going to be used for. Also, if you want to know where the past East Splost money, I've heard that, where's the money going? They can tell you all that as well. Tony Williams outlined that very well at that Ballots and Barbecue, what the money's been used for to the penny. She's very diligent with her, with the money. So
I think we really need to emphasize to everyone, and like I said earlier, that this is not adding anything. This is continuing what we are already paying, and it will run out the end of June. So it's just a continuation of a 1 cent sales tax.
Well, again, appreciate y'all coming in. Hopefully people get the information. But again, if they need the information, it's available. You can either go by the courthouse and pick up a sample ballot or call the board office. You can go on the website as well.
Yes, the website has everything.
And you said the website has the
financial records that we've approved as a board. They have all of the the lists. It has projections, costs from the old eSPLOST projects. Everything is all available online.
Plus a drawing of the remodernization, what James E. Bacon will look like. So if you want to see that, again, see where the money's going to go and how that's going to help that school, check that out as well.
Yes, sir.
Loretta, Nick, always good to see you. Appreciate you all coming in. You'll have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show. You have a great day, Jonathan.
Oh,
You're going to give away more
tickets. Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that in about 20 minutes here.
You're so excited about that contest.
Yes. People are eating that up. Pumpkins. Ghost Goblin Pumpkin.
They still crushing about how the goblin sounds?
I hadn't heard any more about that, but somebody did says like a sick turkey.
Sick turkey.
All right, that's it for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. It's brought to you this morning by Mike Birchford and Blackshear, Wolf Animal Hospital, and Murphy Builder Supply.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Got ticks? Well, we hope not. I'm Dr. Charles Hall.
And I'm Dr. Stefania Wilcox.
We are the associate veterinarians at Wolf Animal Hospital. As the cool air rolls in, we are noticing the ticks are too. Let us help guard your pets against tick-borne disease this year. Come see us at our main branch, Wolf Animal Hospital, at 755 West Cherry Street.
And now we can serve you from our new mobile veterinary clinic in select locations throughout Appling, Brantley, Long, and Wayne counties. The mobile service will provide preventive medicine and outpatient procedures on site. For more information, contact Wolf Animal Hospital at 912-427-3212.
I'm Dr. Charles Hall.
And I'm Dr. Stefania Wilcox.
And we are ready to serve you and your four-legged family members at our main hospital or one of our satellite locations. Contact us at Wolf Animal Hospital at 912-427-3212. 912-427-3212.
WIFO FM Big Dog Country at 8:31. Let's get a quick update.